All right, so this is a continuation of multi-step word problems. The video got cut off, so I am going to continue this problem, which is from number 4 on page 115. So what we have here is we start with 16 jars. They took away, he used 2 for the first painting. He went and bought 8 more, and then he used a certain amount that we don't know, so we named that using our variable P, that word variable, and then in the end he ended up with 15 jars. So now we have to figure out how much is P. So let's do that. So when we set this problem up, we are going to start with our 16, and I'm just going to do this one in my head because minus 2, that's pretty easy. So I can do, well, 16 minus 2 is 14. So I'm just going to kind of go like that and do a 14 over here. And then I'm going to want to add 8 to that because we went and bought jars. So we added 8. 4 and 8 is 12. And we have 22. Okay, then he used a whole bunch of jars for his next painting. So now we have to figure out what P is. So 22 minus P equals 15 jars. Okay, so how are we going to figure out what P is? Well, if we remember back to our fact family knowledge, and if we have 5 minus 2 and it equals 3, we can also flip that, right? We can also take 5 minus 3 and it will equal 2. Okay, so we can use that same concept right here. Because we always know if you subtract one thing and get another, you can subtract that other thing and get what you were subtracting before. So we'll use that knowledge to our benefit to figure out what P is. So we're going to subtract 22 minus 15 equals P. Okay, and when we do that, we get 7 because 22 minus 15, we're going to carry or borrow and change that to a 1 and make this 12. 12 minus 5 is 7 jars. So P equals 7 jars. Okay? And that is how we come with that. So a lot of times when we have those unknown numbers, if you think back to your fact families and how addition and subtraction work, you will be able to solve these unknown numbers in your equations that you create with the story problems. Since I am doing another video on here, I am going to go through one more word problem, just because the more practice, the better. So let's do let's do number 5. It's using a table. So it has the restaurant served food to a large pan party. The manager listed the food costs below. And then it gives us the total cost. How much did the side dish cost? So in our table here, we have, and I'm just going to abbreviate, we have chicken, and the chicken, there were $452. The pasta was $388. And the salad was $150. And the side dish, the SD, they're using the variable S. And then the total equals $1,317. Okay, so let's take this and solve away. So if I look at my whole problem here, I'm going to want to add all of these together to get my total amount. So when I do that, let's add these two first. And what we know about addition, just like I had showed you before, about kind of using that reverse subtraction on the previous problem, we can subtract our total from here to find the amount. So if we take $452 and $388 and $150, that's going to be our step 1 in our multi-step problem. So we have 2 and 8 is 10, carry our 1. We have, ooh, I see a combination of 10 there. 5 and 5 is 10, plus 8 is 18, plus 1 is 19, carry the 1. And I have 1 and 4 is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Okay, so now I know that this much plus S equals $1,317. So how do I find S? Well, I look back to my fact families and know that if I have 5 plus 3 equals 8, and I can also do 8 minus 3 equals 5, and I can do 8 minus 5 equals 3. Okay? And then the other fact, of course, would be 3 plus 5 equals 8. So if I look at how these fact families work in smaller numbers, I can kind of wrap my brain around how to figure out the larger numbers. So if I can add these two together, then I can also take my unknown and subtract it from this. I can bring this answer out to the front and subtract to find what S is. Okay, so I'm going to take 1,317 and subtract 990 to find out what S is. So I go 7 minus 0 is 0. I can't take 9 from 1, so I'm going to need to borrow from my hundreds place and make that a 200 and this a 110. Minus 90 is 20, or 11 minus 9 is 2. So 27 there. Now I have 200 minus 900, can't do it. I'm going to borrow from the thousands place and make that 1,200. 1,200 minus 900 is 300. So now I know that these side dishes would cost S equals $327. Okay, and that is how we solve that problem. It seems really complicated and stuff, but if you really just kind of break it up into smaller numbers, you can figure out how to solve it. So those are the ones I'm going to go through today. How out?